This is Arthur Chappell here, giving you another one of my little pub sign studies. This is actually the Railway Inn in North Manchester. This is actually on the Newton Heath Moston border, probably more on the Newton Heath side than Moston. Basically this is in North Manchester. I actually rarely get to visit this pub. It is actually my nearest thing to a local since the closure of the nearby Dean Brook Inn, which I featured in an earlier pub sign study. Historically, railway inns are extremely important to the local area and to the world. They often mark the location of railway lines, not surprisingly, and railway stations long gone. The inns remind us that these were places where passengers often waited, sometimes overnight, for their journeys to commence or continue. The inns were the first place to visit for food and drink on arrival in new towns and villages. A well-located railway inn could do quite well as long as the railways and the trains themselves did well. So of course the Beeching Acts, which closed a lot of railway lines and shut down a lot of the trains, the loss of the steam trains, the rise of other forms of transport, seriously affected the railway pubs for a long time. But this one's actually continued to do quite well, basically because the railway was actually still going here into the 21st century. This particular railway hotel was bought by Joseph Holtz's brewery in 1890, stood in pride of place between two railway stations, Newton Heath, which opened in 1853, and Dean Lane railway station, which opened in as late as 1880, basically a decade before the pub itself. The area also played and still plays host to one of the biggest railway stock repair and maintenance yards. You can actually see it over there, just where the tree line is. That's actually the biggest repair and maintenance yards in Britain, one of them. Still attracts many train spotters because it's a good place to see the trains where they're coming in for maintenance and fixing. So quite often vandalism, unfortunately. Newton Heath Station vanished in 1996. Dean Lane Station closed in 2009, but when reopened a few years later when it was converted to a Metrolink tram station, changing its name from Dean Lane to Newton Heath and Moston. In fact, that's actually the tram station over there, where those trains, where the trees are there. You can see the trams are actually just on the inside that valley, just where those tree lines actually start. The inside depicts a Class 4 locomotive of a kind that was actually built in Manchester during the First World War. Basically, it used to be used for taking men to serve on the Western Front. Such trains were bought for hauling goods transport in the UK in the 1920s, and they were still in use up to the late 1960s. Coal haulage, keep my paper steady. The coal haulage train depicted here has been identified by a friend of mine as number 6287, and though seen here on the turntable feeding the Newton Heath engine sheds, the train would actually have been used in Gorton in East Manchester, so slight bit of poetic licence there on behalf of the people doing that. The Railway Inn is quite a gothic pub and a very traditional no-nonsense boozer, serving a predominantly local clientele, but the Metrolink station does draw in more welcome visitors, so pub's got itself a welcome second lease of life. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, thanks a lot, bye.